Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a story time video. Let me just make sure my lights are burning my skin off. Just kidding. Anyway, so this was probably when I was 18 or 19. Literally a long time ago. My drunk days are far behind me, I'm proud to say, and that's just not my thing. Partying isn't really my thing. Clubbing isn't my thing. I think the only time at this point in my life that I would like go to clubs and stuff is on vacation. But like I'm not like the Friday or Saturday night club hopper that I used to be. So yeah, this is a pretty crazy drunk story. By far the most wasted I had ever been, and I have ever been. This was like the epitome of being drunk. So whenever me and my friends would go to the club, we would always pregame, meaning we would like drink a lot before we even got to the club. Like we would be taking shots while doing makeup, doing hair, like all that. So normally I would get ready in my house and I would already have a bottle of vodka and I would be drinking while I'm getting ready. I never drove. That was like my thing. I was like, I'm never gonna drive to clubs. Like either we take a cab or we have a designated driver, and we always did. That was something we were always good about. I would just like be drinking even before getting to the club, because we wouldn't get to the club till about 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. We did not want to be at the club for 8 o'clock or 9 because nobody's there. We've done that in the past. I've done that in the past, and it's like not fun. Like you want to go at 11 or midnight or 10:30, but usually 11 or midnight. So we would always drink separately, and then we would get together and we would have our bottles and we'd do more shots and more drinks. So at this point on that particular night, I probably drank, I don't know, I probably did about 4 shots before I even got to the club. So, you know, I had a pretty good buzz, but I always ate before I went out. So, you know, it wasn't like I was just on an empty stomach drinking, because then I probably would have died this night, but that's another story. So yeah, we got to the club, I think, for like 11, and you know, the first thing you do when you go to the club, and yeah, I know I'm saying I'm 18, 19 drinking, yeah, like I definitely underage drinked. And this club that we always used to go to, we had like this guy that would always hook us up with a bracelet for me and my friends, because we were all underage. And this place actually got shut down for a lot of different reasons, but underage drinking being one of them. So it's definitely not good to drink if you're not 21. But I'll tell you, when I got to 21, I didn't even want to drink anymore, because I drank. It was a lot more fun when you couldn't drink to drink versus like being able to drink and drink. So yeah, we got to the club, we got our wristbands, and we would drink. So I would always get, the bartender was the one that hooked us up with the bracelets, so he was really cool about, you know, making these like awesome drinks, but like his drinks were hella strong. Like he thought he was doing us a favor by like, you know, sometimes he would give us free drinks and we would just tip him really good. Other times he would charge us, but like he would just hook us up with so much liquor. So sometimes I remember like in the past throwing out drinks because they were just too strong for me. But I always got vodka with like blueberry lemon. He used to just make this like really good Sprite blueberry lemon vodka drink. Other times it would be like vodka and a little bit of Sprite and like an energy drink. That was like my go-to thing to mix vodka with energy, because it was just like up and down, if that makes sense. A lot of people used to do that. I don't know, people probably still do that. So, I mean, I would drink and dance. Like I was a big like club dancer, like that was my thing. And you know, you don't realize how much you're drinking because you're dancing and you're hot. So every time you're dancing, like I was that girl with the drink in my hand, dancing, sipping, and, you know, feeling loose and feeling good. And you just don't know how much you're really drinking until it's like I don't know, until it's like to that point of no return. So I literally probably had 3 or 4 mixed drinks, and they were very strong. And then on top of having like the 4 or 5 shots prior, like I'm just trying to add it all up. Like I was wasted, white girl wasted. And I remember dancing, and from the corner of my eye, Adam, me and Adam were friends before we dated, FYI, if you're like new to my channel, like we always used to go out as friends, and yeah, I just remember like dancing out of the corner of my eye. I saw Adam like watching me, and all of a sudden, like I was dancing up against this pole behind me. It was like this like pole. I like literally fell like while I was dancing. So like I was like on the floor with my butt on the floor in my little dress and my heels. And I just remember looking over at Adam, and I was like, help me. Like, help me. Like I was literally so wasted. I was just like, help me. I couldn't even get up. So he came right over and he helped me up, and he was like, let's just walk outside and get some air. So this club, like I was in the club dancing, so you would exit out and there was like a patio, and the bartender was over there. It was like an outside patio kind of thing. So it had stairs that went down. And instead of Adam just having me hang out on the patio, I don't know why he did it. Like, I don't know, like we should have just stayed on the patio. He had me go down the stairs, and I remember like my feet just like not working. He's like, okay, easy, like take one step. And I just remember like my feet like just being so off balance and literally almost falling down the stairs. But we successfully made it. And I just remember being like very like uncontrol of my body, like out of control, like very loose like this, just like falling over like that. And you know, he supported my weight. I'm not like this super heavy person anyway, but like he would support my weight. And I just remember walking, and it's like a city. The place we used to go to was like in the city, obviously. And so there was like all these vendors selling all types of food and tons of people on the street, and they're like, oh, white girl wasted. Like I remember hearing that, and I would like talk back, and I was like, shh, stop. You know, like when you're drunk, you literally are not yourself. Like you're so out of control, like of yourself, like you're saying things that you normally wouldn't. Like I would normally just ignore that. I was like, yeah, no, I'm not wasted, I'm fine, like slurring, and it was just so awkward. So he took me over to our car that we, you know, because I always went with him, and one of my other friends were still inside the club, and I think he actually ended up texting them or calling them and just saying like, Mariah's really drunk, like we don't need to go back in, we're probably just gonna go home. And I just like remember being like so emotional and like crying and just like falling over. Like we weren't even in the car, and I'm just like like crying, and like all these different like emotions. And like my parents are gonna be so mad at me when I get home, because I still lived at home with my parents, and like all these like different things. And I like just, I don't know, I just like vaguely remember all of this like stuff. Like I was just like the annoying friend that night. Like I feel like I was just like whatever, like just annoying. Actually, I think we all carpooled together, so I think that they ended up leaving the club a little bit early than we normally would because of me, and I think that they were kind of upset that I was so drunk and like wasted, which is kind of like a shitty friend, because these girls had been drunk and wasted before, and I never was like shitty towards them about it. But the next day I remember them like calling me and being like, you know, you ruined our night. It's like, it happens, like get over it, but whatever. So we ended up leaving, and I remember we stopped at Dunkin' Donuts, and I had to go to the bathroom so bad, and the girls came in with me, and they had to help me. Like I was just like literally like crazy off balance and just so drunk, and there was like no sobering up. I think I even got like a Dunkin' Donuts sandwich, and I still wasn't sober. Like it was crazy. So I ended up leaving Dunkin' Donuts, and I think we all were at Adam's. Like all of our cars were at Adam's, so they get their cars. Adam brings me home, and I'm just like literally like feeling nauseous at this point because I ate my Dunkin' Donuts sandwich, and I'm just like literally like feeling like I'm gonna throw up. Just so drunk at this point still. So I get home and he's like, all right, well, I'll call you tomorrow, whatever. So I had a key to get into my front door, and it's like probably 1:30 in the morning. It's got to be. Club would close at 2 and we left early, so it was probably like 1:30, maybe close to 2. And I unlocked the door, and I would always try to be so quiet when I came home from the club because, you know, I still lived at home with my parents. It was nice that they even let me go out and do those things, and to come home in their home and like disrupt everything and wake them up, that would be kind of disrespectful. That's kind of how I disrupt their sleep. You know what I mean? Like, that's what sucks about living at home and like going to parties and doing all that stuff, because then you have to come home and like deal with your parents. But yeah, I always try to be as quiet as possible, so I'd always take off my shoes outside so they wouldn't like click up the stairs, because unfortunately I didn't have a room downstairs. I had a room right next to their room, and I just remember like slowly crawling up the stairs because I couldn't even walk, and my mom coming out of her room, turning on the hallway light for the stairs, and just I'm on the floor like crawling up the stairs, and she's like, Mariah, like, is everything okay? And I'm like, yeah, everything's fine. And I think at this point she knew I was wasted, so she helped me up the stairs and helped me get into pajamas. And she's like, you are going to be so sick tomorrow. This is your first time being drunk, I'm assuming. I'm like, yeah. She's like, okay, just be aware. So I think I fell asleep around 3, and I probably woke up at 7 with the worst stomach ache ever, like that hangover nausea. And I went downstairs. I'm like, Mom, I don't feel good. She's like, well, I would imagine you wouldn't feel good. Like, you were drunk last night, and you know, she's like, try to drink some ginger ale. So she got me some saltine crackers and ginger ale, and literally, yeah, I like dry heaved that morning. I never actually threw up because I really didn't have much in my system to throw up, I feel like, because I had eaten dinner way long ago the night before. And then I had that like breakfast sandwich, but I think that was just like gone at that point. So I just really had the saltine. So I was just like dry heaving. But, you know, it ended up stopping around like, I don't know, probably 12 or 1. But when you're hungover, your whole day is shot. Like, you're not going to do anything except sleep and rest because it's like you're sick. And, you know, after that, I probably got, you know, drunk a few more times and hung over a few more times. But at this point in my life, that's totally behind me because I couldn't even imagine like waking up and feeling that. It's like not even worth it to me, like being hungover and all that. Like, it's not worth it, like, at all. So if I drink, it's like really seldom, and when I do, it's like very little bit. Like, I can definitely manage myself because I'm not that girl anymore that wants to be drunk. I'm not that girl that's partying. So, yeah, that is my drunk story. Like, that was probably the worst I'd ever been as far as just like a sloppy mess. And Adam actually ended up recording me being drunk. I never saw the video, but he showed people. And for you guys who have been subscribed a long time, if you guys remember, me and Adam stopped being friends for a while, and I was like, took down all our vlogs and stuff. And I never really explained why. That was why. I was really hurt that he like videotaped me and showed people and didn't even show me. Like, what was the point of that? To make fun of me? And I just felt really betrayed. But obviously we're dating and we worked past all that. But yeah, I was really hurt at the time for that. And he did end up deleting the video, but I never physically got to see it, and I probably wouldn't want to because it's pretty embarrassing. But it might have been good for this video to put that in there, but it's long gone. So I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, or requests, please leave it below. Please check the bottom bar for all information, and until next time, I will see you guys very soon in my next video. Mwah!